This mountain has driven more than a dozen conquerors and explorers crazy. It disappears from its place without a trace, or destroys all those who approach it. The authorities of two countries, on the border of which it is located, have been arguing for many years about its belonging. But it is impossible to find out, as the mountain plays hide and seek. Just imagine, Kankar Punsum is still unconquered, although its height is a kilometer less than Everest. You will be surprised when you find out why the authorities of the Asian country Bhutan have banned climbing it. Apparently, the government is hiding the truth from the people. Do you want to know the shocking truth that can no longer be silenced? Then watch this video to the end. We bet you'll never guess the true nature of the giant. Mountaineering is an extreme sport that requires its adherents to be extremely brave and willing to risk their lives to conquer impregnable mountain peaks. Despite the fact that mountaineering is rightly considered one of the most dangerous hobbies, climbers find in it a special charm that allows them to visit places inaccessible to most people and experience an incomparable sense of freedom and unity with the primordial nature. However, not all mountain peaks are equally favorable to their conquerors. There are peaks on our planet which stubbornly do not want to let a man near them, despite the numerous attempts of climbers to climb their snow-covered slopes. A striking example of such an impregnable mountain is Kankar Punsum, located in the Kingdom of Bhutan. This peak, whose height is an impressive 7,570 meters above sea level, remains the only of the mountains exceeding the mark of 7,000 meters, which has not yet set foot. In what rooms of pyramids people did not set foot, we also told on our channel. Subscribe, put likes to be aware of sensations. There are some rather unusual theories trying to explain why Kankar Punsum so stubbornly resists climbers' attempts to conquer its peak. One of the most surprising theories states that this mountain is not always in its proper place. Some witnesses claim that from time to time, this majestic massif simply disappears and then reappears, as if playing hide and seek with those who aspire to climb its peak. But mysterious disappearances are not the only obstacle faced by climbers trying to conquer Kankar Punsum. Over the past 100 years, many expeditions have been undertaken to reach the peak of this mountain, but each time the climbers have had to face various unforeseen circumstances that forced them to stop climbing and go back. In addition, climbers were repeatedly frightened by stories of strange, supernatural phenomena and even the appearance of unidentified flying objects in the vicinity of the mountain. All these rumors and speculations made every attempt to climb Kankar Punsum incredibly difficult in moral terms and extremely tense. For the first time, this mysterious mountain was described back in the distant 1922nd year, but due to disputes and topographical inaccuracies, then it was not possible to establish which country it belongs to. Two states, China and Bhutan, claim the right to own this grandiose elevation because it was located right on the border between them. For more than half a century, the territorial ownership of the majestic Kankar Punsum mountain remained the subject of fierce disputes between Bhutan and China. The main obstacle to the resolution of this issue was a strict ban on mountaineering in Bhutan, the nominal owner of the mountain. Only in 1983, when this law was abolished, it became possible to organize a number of expeditions equipped with modern equipment, which should help to determine once and for all on whose territory the impregnable peak is located. In the course of several research missions, it was established that Kankar Punsum is indeed located within the borders of Bhutan, while its neighbor, the 7,554-meter high Kulakangri Mountain, is located in the territory of Tibet, an autonomous region of China. However, in the year 1994, the Bhutanese government reintroduced restrictions on climbing, prohibiting climbers from ascending peaks that exceed 6,000 meters above sea level. This step was dictated by the desire of the authorities to respect the religious feelings of the local population, for whom the mountains are sacred and inviolable. Since the beginning of the 21st year, Bhutan has imposed a complete ban on mountaineering, making it almost impossible to climb Kankar Punsum. Despite all the bans and restrictions, the Japanese climbers did not give up their attempts to check the accuracy of the measurements made by their Bhutanese colleagues. In 1998, they appealed to the Chinese government to allow them to climb Kankar Punsum from the PRC side. However, the Chinese authorities, fearing possible international conflicts and diplomatic complications, refused the Japanese request. But the persistence and perseverance of the Japanese explorers still bore fruit. A year after the unsuccessful attempt to obtain permission from China, the Japanese expedition managed to conquer the peak Liangkankangri, also known as Kankar Punsum North, whose height is 7,535 meters. This success allowed the Japanese to take their own measurements and make an unexpected announcement. According to the results of research conducted by Japanese mountaineers, it became clear that Kankar Punsum Mountain was in fact located entirely beyond the northern border of Bhutan, and thus belonged de facto to China. This view was supported by both Japan and China itself, who saw this discovery as an opportunity to settle a long-standing territorial dispute once and for all. However, Bhutan, which was considered the nominal owner of Kankar Punsum, strongly disagreed with the conclusions of the Japanese researchers. As we have already said, this mountain still holds a lot of mysteries. According to ancient legends, it can disappear and reappear as if by magic. It is this peculiarity, according to the locals, was the reason why the mountain was not immediately noticed and put on maps. Its hide-and-seek game also raises questions about its territorial belonging, because it seems to balance on the border of two states. The pioneers who sought to conquer this majestic peak faced inexplicable difficulties. Some of them, having reached the supposed place, could not find anything but dense forests. Even experienced climbers, equipped with the latest technology, sometimes returned with nothing, as if they had made only a walk among the trees. Climbing any peak requires official permission from the authorities, but even when all the formalities are fulfilled, the conquerors of Kankar Punsum fail. Weather conditions, seemingly ideal for climbing, suddenly change as soon as you get close to the mountain. Sunny days are replaced by bad weather, as if nature itself is resisting human intervention. Many attempts to conquer the summit end in failure and sometimes tragedy. Locals whisper that the mountain has taken more than one life. There are those who try to climb Kankar Punsum without permission, bypassing the prohibitions. But according to rumors, the mountain itself drives away uninvited guests, giving them diseases and hardships. Even the most desperate daredevils who risk their lives in the rainy season, when the expedition camp is empty, fail. According to ancient beliefs, powerful deities dwell on the slopes of this majestic, impregnable mountain, and any intrusion into their domain can bring the wrath of heaven upon the entire country. The people of Bhutan believe in this. Therefore, for them, the mountain peaks of the Himalayas are considered sacred. Buddhism, practiced by the majority of Bhutanese, attaches special importance to this sacred mountain. For centuries, pilgrims have made ritual ascents to the foot of Kankar Punsum in an attempt to approach divine powers and purify their souls. Even today, some believers continue this tradition, finding peace and enlightenment in the shadow of the majestic peaks. It was because of faith that the authorities issued a ban on climbing. No wonder that this mysterious mountain attracts the attention of not only spiritual seekers, but also lovers of paranormal phenomena. Ufologists put forward bold theories that Kankar Punsum serves as a base for unidentified flying objects. In support of their speculations, they refer to the mysterious lights of various colors that can often be seen above the peak. However, the scientific community does not yet have convincing evidence of contacts with extraterrestrial civilizations, leaving these assumptions in the realm of speculation and fantasy. But the fantasies of ufologists do not end there. Recently, they have put forward an even more sensational hypothesis. UFOs not only settled on the sacred mountain, but also arranged their base in its bowels. Locals have been adding oil to the fire, telling of strange phenomena occurring above the peak, which is often hidden in the clouds, leaving room for imagination. The Bhutanese authorities, however, insist that the ban on climbing Kankar Punsum is dictated solely by respect for the religious feelings of the population. In addition, the mountain is considered one of the most dangerous in the world, and any attempts to conquer it are accompanied by devastating natural disasters such as heavy rains, storms, and hurricanes. Despite the ban, it is possible to visit the foot of Kankar Punsum by trekking from Dur or Lunan village to Dortsachu hot springs. There is an expedition camp there where you can stay after obtaining permission from the authorities. Although Bhutan's official stance remains adamant, some climbers and adventurers hope that in the future, China, which has part of the mountain in its territory, will allow climbing from its side. Perhaps this will help shed light on the many mysteries shrouding Kankar Punsum and solve the riddle of the peak of the three spiritual brothers, whether it is the abode of the gods or an alien base.